Eric today, back with another beer review. It's quickly approaching 50 degrees here in Minnesota, Minneapolis, and I recently picked up the new limited release from Founders Brewing Company. Yeah, you guessed it. It's the one and only, the critically acclaimed KBS. Actually, it says highly acclaimed, but I would say critically, because this is one of those beers for me from Founders that I actually do prefer fresh. I'm a big fan of aging their Imperial Stout. I think a lot of good things come out of that. The Breakfast Stout actually tastes pretty good with a year on it as well. Something about this one with the coffee and the massive amounts of chocolate, and then the bourbon barrel aging for a year that I just love fresh out the bottle as they intended it. So if you don't know what KBS is, it's a totally different beer than their Breakfast Stout. Clocks in at 11.2%. 70 IBUs, and cave ages in bourbon barrels for a year till they deem the flavor is right for release. This year it seems to be coming out a little later. This one was bottled on 3/21 of 13. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the pour on Founders KBS. Alright, so it's pretty sunny out. I don't know how this is going to work camera wise, but it pours a very, very pitch black into the glass. And actually, coming out the bottle, you could actually see through it. Nice ebony, and there is some ebony and red-like hues in there. Wasn't completely opaque like I thought it was, pouring it inside. So, we've got poured into a glass here. Nice fat finger head. Nothing more. I also didn't chug it. Temperature could be also a factor in that. I generally serve my stouts at about 50 to 52 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is right in that area. Without further ado, I'm just going to quick say, man, I smell bourbon, coffee, and chocolate just wafting off the glass. So I'm going to sink my nose a little further into this one. Yeah, there's a ton of bourbon, ton of coffee coming out. Deep, rich, I'm going to say that, deep. That means deep and rich. Espresso-like flavors coming through. Reminds me a lot of the Central Waters Peruvian Morning in the coffee sense. The bourbon isn't as strong. There is chocolate. There is a little bit of fusel alcohol, and when I say fusel alcohol, I mean that is just pure alcohol that I believe comes from the barrel aging. It's a little aggressive, and it lets you know it's there. So, yeah, I mean, you can taste the other, deep flavors of caramel and dark malts and whatnot, but overall, coffee, chocolate, bourbon bomb. So, cheers, guys. I'm going to taste this one. Ooh, man, so much coffee. That aftertaste is ridiculously amazing. Much better than the foretaste, actually. It immediately coats the front of your palate with chocolate, coffee, and then fades into the bourbon barrel-like flavors of toffee, vanilla, maybe even a little bit of toasted marshmallow. In the taste, actually, the alcohol is not nearly as prevalent, especially in the front taste of the beer. It's a nice day to be doing this. I've been drinking KBS for, man, since probably 2008 when it first started coming out, maybe even 07. I think 8 was when we really first started getting into it. And every year it's a delight to get. It's been increasingly more difficult to track down, where stores are doing single bottle limits because they only get a case or 2 cases. And I commend liquor stores for, the battle they have to put up with releasing rare beers and hard to find beers. But for me, this is one of those beers that, I kind of feel like it should be a first come first served basis on the 4-pack, because, at roughly 20 bucks a 4-pack. These stores are jacking these bottles up to $7.99, $8.99, and I even saw a store selling a single bottle of KBS for $10. That's a problem for me, because that's not what Founders intends it to be. They intend it to be in that 17 to 20 range, I believe. I know the liquor stores can dictate what they sell it for, But I'm kind of going off on a tangent here and a rant. I apologize, but back to the beer. Do I think this was hard or worth the chase? The little chase I had, I went to 2 liquor stores. One said no. Went to my other favorite one. They're like, hey, we got 3. Cool, I'll take them. On the Founders KBS, I got to give a rating since I haven't been doing this in a few days, in a few reviews, I should say. You know, a lot of people rate this world class, 100 out of 100. You know, just best beer they've ever had. If you know, I'm always curious what people think of beer, so I'll scroll Untapped and check out Beer Advocate and stuff, see what people rate. And this is rated so incredibly high. I'm not saying it's not worthy, but for the hype train and what I've got here in a glass, I'd actually be hard-pressed to say I wouldn't take Brewing Morning over this. And no, I'm not a Central Waters fanboy, but this tastes thinner than previous years. I don't know, I'm a little disappointed. But that's just me. Good stuff, though, from Founders. Wish it wasn't so hard to get. I'm going to go in 92 out of 100. I think it's great. A little thin. Doesn't hold the harmonious feeling across the tongue that it used to in my world. So, sorry that I ranted on a little bit today, guys, but those are some things that just irritate me in the beer community, and I'm sure fellow beer drinkers like you probably get very upset with having to take a half day at work to land a beer that you want, that's limited, and or you're gonna have to trade for it. It's out now in 4-packs or single bottles, KBS from Founders. I'm gonna sit out here today, guys, and really enjoy this beautiful Minnesota weather. I've got about half a bottle left. You know, it's gonna take me a good hour. This isn't a beer that goes down in, you know, half hour, 20 minutes. So, hope you guys can get your hands on some, and let me know what you think in the comments about hype trains and limited availability. I'm just curious what people think, because for me, it rubs me the wrong way as a consumer. So, cheers, guys, and always remember to respect beer if you can get your hands on it. Cheers.